active and playing 4 games and then not, and like not feeling the best, and then like frustrated of like how hard I worked in the off season, and then like all I do is rehab and like continue to do this process and just like trying to trust that the best I can. And obviously there's really frustrating days, and there's days where like it's a little bit easier and like you're very, very motivated and like you're close to the finish line of getting back and being back, and then like it's not like I have a training camp to like build up to like playing my first game again. It's like, no, like you're tossed.
What started as whispers has now exploded into full-blown panic. Could Caitlin Clark actually walk away from the WNBA? The thought alone has fans spiraling. The league's brightest star, the one selling out arenas, the one keeping playoff ratings alive, suddenly at the center of "what if she quits" chatter. And this isn't random gossip. Sophie Cunningham poured gasoline on the rumors when she hinted Clark's stay in the league might be way shorter than anyone expected. It felt like a warning shot, a reminder that the WNBA's biggest name has been treated less like a superstar and more like a target since day one. This isn't her rookie year anymore. She's in season 2, still drawing record numbers, yet still taking constant hits, fouls, and cheap shots every night. The truth, the league should have learned to protect her by now, but it hasn't. And now the idea of Clark walking away doesn't sound crazy, it sounds possible.
Yeah, officially, my 2 favorite players in this league that I really love to, particularly love to pull for, they're both out now. And it did not look good. No word on that, by the way.
The way things are going, it almost feels like the league is daring her to leave. Sophie Cunningham, fined so often she might as well put the WNBA office on her Venmo, has become one of the only players consistently speaking up. And fans are listening. Why? Because she's not saying anything fans don't already see with their own eyes. Clark is being pushed, bumped, bruised, and left unprotected night after night. It's not sustainable. Eventually, even the fiercest competitors break down when the league refuses to step in. Sophie might be lighter in the wallet because of her fines, but she's heavier with credibility right now. Because she's voicing what everyone else is too afraid or too tired to admit. Caitlin Clark's situation is becoming unbearable.
Maybe Caitlin Clark has taken a couple of injury breaks just because she needed a mental break from all the jealousy, all the resentment, all the on-court bullying, cheap shots she takes.
Cunningham went even further, saying Clark herself doesn't really know when she'll be back. The official line is day to day. But fans know how this goes. Day to day becomes week to week. Then suddenly a whole season disappears. That's not recovery, that's limbo. And Clark's fans aren't dumb. They can see the frustration in her face, the confusion in every vague update, the way hope keeps getting pushed back another week. It doesn't take a medical degree to see that something here doesn't add up. And the longer the silence goes on, the more believable it sounds that Clark might not just be healing. She might be rethinking how much longer she wants to deal with this league at all.
Is Caitlin close? How's she coming along?
Dude, I don't know. Everyone keeps asking. Everyone's like, you know, and I'm like, literally, she doesn't even know. It's just like a day by day legit type of thing. And so, yeah, she's close, but like, you also have to remember, like, she could be playing if it wasn't in the WNBA by now.
Then came the comment that really sent shockwaves. Sophie hinted that Clark might actually be healthy enough to play right now. If this were any other league, let that sink in. In another system with better officiating, clearer rules, and less politics, Clark could already be back on the floor. Instead, the WNBA has turned her comeback into a question mark. Think about what that says. Instead of celebrating their biggest draw, the league has her sitting on the sidelines, her return clouded by confusion. And the deeper you look, the worse it gets. Inconsistent refereeing, uneven treatment of stars, and locker room politics that feel more like a reality show than a professional sport. The result? A generational player selling out every arena, but fans left wondering whether she'll even be there next year.
So as you can see, Caitlin Clark's on the sideline, and she was up cheering for her team, and you can see that one of the coaches steps we thought was on her foot. We can't see the lower half of this camera angle, but she steps on something, and Caitlin Clark's reaction was big here. Like, something really hurt. Caitlin immediately yanks up her foot and is like, oh my God, ow. And then you see Chloe Bibby off to the left too. Like, her reaction was also very dramatic.
Here's the uncomfortable truth. Caitlin Clark doesn't need the WNBA. But the WNBA desperately needs her. From ticket sales to TV ratings to jersey orders, everything exploded the second she entered the league. take her away, and all of that disappears. The Fever lose their relevance. Half the arenas go half empty again. The league slips back into the shadows. And fans have started noticing something even uglier: the double standards. They see certain players get away with reckless fouls while Clark gets whistled just for complaining. They see Cunningham fined for speaking her mind while others throw shade with zero consequences. They remember Angel Reese openly accusing Clark of a special whistle without a fine, while Sophie makes one joke and instantly loses money. That's not rule enforcement, that's favoritism. And when fans connect those dots, it starts to feel less like mismanagement and more like something personal. And here's the part that should really scare the WNBA. Clark has options. She's too smart, too talented, and too marketable to waste her prime being battered in a league that doesn't protect her. Europe is right there. Shorter seasons, better pay, stronger fan culture, and ironically, refereeing that many players say is more consistent. Clark could walk out tomorrow, sign in Spain, Italy, or Turkey, and instantly become the highest-paid women's player in the world. American fans would follow her through streams and highlights no matter the time zone. And that's just basketball. If she wanted to pivot entirely, she's already hinted at her love for golf. Imagine Clark pulling a Paige Spiranak route, leaning into sponsorships, media appearances, even competitive golf. She wouldn't need to be Tiger Woods to cash in. All she'd need to do is show up, swing, and collect millions. And if that ever happens, the WNBA wouldn't just lose its star, it would lose its future. The difference with Caitlin is that she isn't just another talented player. She's the engine driving the entire league. If she ever leaves, it's not just a star moving on, it's an earthquake that shakes everything. And the warning signs are piling up. The vague day-to-day injury updates that keep stretching into weeks. The mystery around why she hasn't been at film sessions. The constant speculation from teammates like Sophie Cunningham saying, flat out, nobody knows what's really wrong. Fans don't see that as bad luck anymore. They see it as incompetence. Instead of transparency, the league offers mixed messages. One night it's an ankle, the next it's a muscle strain, the next she's questionable. But people aren't buying it. They know when a story doesn't add up. And while Clark sits, rehabbing in silence, the question grows louder. Why should she put her body on the line for a league that doesn't seem willing to protect her in the first place? And the pressure she carries makes that question even heavier. Caitlin isn't just playing basketball. She's carrying the weight of an entire sport on her shoulders. Every commercial, every press conference, every social media post ties back to her. Nike, Gatorade, State Farm, ESPN. She's the face of all of them. Every arena she enters, cameras follow her like she's royalty. And while that might look glamorous from the outside, the reality is brutal. Every foul against her is debated online. Every missed shot becomes a headline. Every quiet game turns into a think piece about her legacy. That pressure breaks people. We've seen it happen with Simone Biles, Naomi Osaka, even Serena Williams. It's not weakness, it's human. Sophie Cunningham's comments didn't sound outrageous to fans because they already know the truth. Walking away might be the only way Clark finds peace. And if she made that choice tomorrow, most fans wouldn't call it quitting. They'd call it survival.
Just ends their chances. And it diminishes the interest in the WNBA as a whole. If we're like, more than diminishes, is a devastating blow to the interest in the WNBA as a whole, due to the magnetism and the Clark.
And that's why this isn't just about Clark's health. It's about the WNBA's credibility as a whole. If she leaves, what's left? Angel Reese is polarizing. Aja Wilson is brilliant but doesn't pull casual fans the same way. Paige Buchers has hype but hasn't proven she can carry a league yet. Without Caitlin, the spotlight dims fast and the WNBA goes right back to begging networks for airtime. That's why Sophie's warning hit so hard. It wasn't gossip, it was a reality check. Picture these scenarios. In the best case, Clark rehabs, comes back stronger, and forces the league to finally treat her like the superstar she is. In the worst case, the injuries pile up, the mental exhaustion becomes too much, and we're left talking about what could have been instead of what was. And the middle option? She heads overseas, gets paid more, plays less, and embarrasses the league by thriving where it failed her. Every path without real change ends in disaster for the WNBA.
Because the viewership is down significantly from what it was was last year in 2024. You can see in 2013 it had around 800,000 viewers. And then the last few years, obviously the year after the bubble was one of the lowest with less than 500,000 viewers. And then you have 734,000, 850,000, which was in 2023, and then last year in 2024. And then you can see the numbers here.
And then there's the wild card nobody can ignore. What if Caitlin Clark doesn't just go overseas but switches sports entirely? Sounds crazy at first, until you remember just how marketable she is. She wouldn't have to dominate golf, tennis, or even broadcasting to make it work. She'd just have to show up. Brands would line up overnight. Sponsorships worth tens of millions would follow her into whatever lane she chose. She could take her competitiveness, her charisma, and her massive fan base and turn it into an empire outside of the WNBA. That's the real nightmare for the league, because once your biggest star has more power outside your walls than inside them, you've already lost control. And fans see it too. They're tired of the double standards. Sophie fined for speaking, others getting away with worse. Clark punished for complaining while referees ignore the hits. Fans aren't stupid. They know when a game is rigged, and right now it feels like the league is testing Clark's patience one shove, one bad whistle, one vague injury report at a time. So what happens if she actually walks away? Chaos, pure chaos. Sponsors would pull back, TV ratings would crash, attendance would sink overnight. The Caitlin Clark effect that boosted every single arena she touched, gone in an instant. And here's the twist. Fans wouldn't even blame her. They'd blame the WNBA for fumbling the biggest opportunity in its history. They'd say the league failed to protect its star, failed to protect its product, and failed to protect the future. Sophie Cunningham didn't just spark a debate. She cracked open the door to a scenario people are starting to take seriously. And now, the WNBA is stuck with that question hanging in the air. Will Caitlin Clark stick it out, chase bigger money overseas, or shock the world by leaving basketball altogether? Whatever she decides, one thing's clear. This league can't afford to lose her. But unless something changes, Caitlin might decide for herself, and the WNBA will have no one to blame but its own leadership.